Introduction. The hardest things for many people in this lifetime is finding the willpower to turn away from unhealthy and processed foods and focus on healthy eating. Whether you are obese or not, healthy eating can be a challenge because processed foods are so plentiful and easily available. Not only that, but they are cheap and easy and filling. Unfortunately, a lot of that is a trick. They may be able to get us through the day without hunger pangs, but in reality, our bodies are still starving for nutrients. Once you finally get a vegetable in you, your body begins to show you just how much you've missed it and needed it. Although it is helpful to get yourself through the day in its cheap and convenient seeming way, the cost is actually insurmountable to your health. All of us have very specific nutritional needs, which is why the food. It became such a fundamental part of health class when you were a kid. Learning about what the body needs in order to function at its highest possible potential is one of the key building blocks in creating a healthier lifestyle. Not only that, but it is essential in providing yourself with the resources that you need to thrive. It is hard to go into the future without proper nutrition. Our brain becomes foggy and it can be difficult for us to think. Our bodies are lethargic when we are not able to utilize the full power of fruits and vegetables and healthy protein sources. We become caught up in the fast and easy preparation of processed foods and find ourselves physically addicted to the high sugar and fat content in them. Before you know it, you may find yourself disinterested in eating healthy foods like fruits and vegetables because they take a little bit longer to prepare than a bag of chips you just tug open or something you put in your microwave. We have to be willing to admit to ourselves that a big part of our problems is that we have an addiction to junk foods. The unhealthy things that we put into our bodies accumulate. We don't always realize the impact they have on us until it is too late. Fortunately, it can help to have standard knowledge of how it is that the foods that we eat can impact our bodies. By reading the book on healthy eating, you will begin to educate yourself and understand just how important it is for you to indulge in the foods that nourish your body rather than make it worse. You will begin to see why it is important to make healthy food choices and ultimately, provide yourself with a basis for how to implement these changes in your life and begin on healthy eating journey as soon as possible. Chapter 1. What is the point in healthy eating? A lot of people have the mentality that you only live once, so you should do whatever it is that you want to do and when you want to do it. Most don't realize how difficult it is to pick up the slack later on in life when you have been abusive to your body by neglecting your nutritional needs. That may seem like a harsh phrasing, but that is the unfortunate fact of the matter. If you are not eating healthy foods, you're physically depriving yourself of the nutrition that you need in order to grow and function at your highest possible potential. Americans are undernourished, despite the fact that food is readily available to most people. And the reason that happens is because Americans tend to eat processed foods rather than whole foods. Whether this is because of addiction or because of convenience or because of poverty, the fact remains the same. Processed foods are unhealthy, and when eaten in large doses on a daily basis, they contribute to weight gain and other serious complications with your health later in life. Processed foods are exceptionally bad for you because they are high in fat and sugar and salt content, and when you eat them, they lack fiber. That means that you can eat more of them without feeling full, and when you do feel full, by then you have consumed a lot of the unhealthy elements of the processed foods and very little of the fiber that you need to eliminate them. This will mess up your digestion and prevent you from burning as many calories as you consume from the food you're eating. Eating healthy is incredibly important, especially if you don't want to have further complications with your health later on in life. If you want to eat healthy and learn why, the book Healthy Eating will show you how. Chapter 2. Are you willing to eat healthy? Eating healthy really comes down to a personal choice. Are you willing to look yourself in the eye and face up to the challenges that are preventing you from doing what you want to do? Are you willing to make the changes that you need to make in order to improve your life and get on track? All of us may talk a big game and have a lot of plans and goals, But if you are willing to put in the work and dedication that is required in making lasting changes in your life, then all of this goes out the window very quickly. You have to determine whether or not you are willing to change your perspective on things. You have to be able to be honest with yourself about your weaknesses and downfalls. All of us have a hard time admitting it when we are wrong, at least sometimes. Others of us sometimes have a hard time believing we are anything but wrong, and both of these are not good mindsets to have. You have to have confidence, but you also have to have perspective. An honest perspective will allow you to understand where you falter and what you should do in order to overcome those limitations. It is never a bad thing to admit to yourself that you have limitations or challenges that need to be addressed. It is only by acknowledging these limitations and challenges that we will ever grow stronger. If you have a hard time believing that you have faults or that your mind has become accustomed to bad habits that make you susceptible to self-destructive behaviors, then it will be almost impossible for you to address those behaviors in a constructive manner. You have to assert yourself to yourself. To be the best version of yourself possible, you first have to understand all the ways that you could be improving. Once you understand those difficulties or shortcomings, as you may want to refer to them, then you will be able to fully allow yourself to become greater. You have to accept things at face value before you can ever truly move on. Once you accept things, then you can begin to work through them and process them in a healthy way. It's like that with many things, and healthy eating is definitely among them. If you need help, don't be afraid to ask for help. And don't be afraid to admit that you need it. This book will show you how you can begin to overcome these challenges and why it is important for you to focus on healthy eating above all else. Chapter 3. How you can begin eating healthy, starting now. Healthy eating is a process, and it is one that is best begun in low doses. Moderation is the key to most things, especially when it comes to adopting new habits. You can't overload your body with too much change at once, or it will begin to reject it almost immediately. Fortunately, there are changes that you can begin to make right away. Before you even begin to read the Healthy Eating book, you can start to take an inventory of your kitchen and the type of food that you have inside it. Let your intuition guide you as to what is healthy and productive for you to keep, and what you should get rid of. You don't have to get rid of it all right away, but try to make a note not to buy it again once it is gone. Making small changes are the types of changes that will last. Begin slowly by taking away foods that you know are bad for you and training your mind to recognize bad foods as bad. If you don't allow yourself to make the connections that need to be made, it is almost impossible to begin breaking the habit. Go out and buy fruits and vegetables. Make sure you always have fresh fruit in the house. And not only that, but prepare it ahead of time. Make sure it is all washed and chopped up and ready to eat at a moment's notice, so there is no excuse to allow it to stay in the fridge and rot. There are many changes that you can make before ever even reading about how healthy eating is something that will benefit your life. You can make as many changes as need to be made for yourself, as long as you know how to do it and you are honest with yourself about your limitations. Never settle for less. You are capable of doing whatever needs to be done in order to take care of yourself and provide your body with the nourishment that it needs. Start simple with small, easy to follow through on steps and go from there to make healthy eating a habit that will last for you for a lifetime. Conclusion. Healthy eating is a journey that can take quite a while to master. That is why it is important to engage in every possible resource at your disposal. Learning what you can do to help yourself overcome all of your challenges is one of the most empowering things anybody could ever do. It can be especially difficult to overcome challenges that we haven't identified yet, so self-awareness is a very big step in learning to eat properly. Everybody wants to become the best version of themselves possible, and that is far harder to do if you are never allowing yourself to accept your challenges. Healthy eating is something that everybody deserves to take part in. Our bodies need nourishment and care just like every other part of ourselves. If we are willing to give ourselves a chance and take matters into our own hands, it will provide us with the confidence and resources that we need in order to make healthy eating a lifestyle choice that will follow you and serve you all for the rest of your life. By reading the book Healthy Eating, you are providing yourself with a great guideline to learning how food affects your body and why it is so important to maintain a healthy eating lifestyle. You will be provided with a great way to begin embarking upon your healthy eating journey, and tips and tricks to keep in mind to encourage your mind to cooperate when it comes to grocery shopping and mealtimes. Meal planning, along with self-awareness and confidence, are major aspects in adopting healthy eating as a lifestyle. These are all things that will be better elaborated in the book. If you want to understand exactly how you are going to be able to have the power in your life to make great changes that will last a lifetime. Eating healthy is a choice that you can make, and when you can make successfully. All you have to do is read the guide to healthy eating and begin.